What's going on, everyone? Bel-Air, season 4, episode 7, titled Soulmates. Soulmates. Lamont, they're coming through with these cameos. Of course, we're going to talk about the one that popped up here. It's kind of sad, man. We almost to the end. But episode 7, Soulmates. What did you think about the episode? Let us know. Let us know. Full spoilers are here.
And I enjoyed it, man. I love the Easter eggs that they have done. And this was probably one of the bigger Easter eggs they popped in this series. Someone from the previous show 25 years ago. Really liked the way they done. And I hate to see this show come to an end.
Yeah, man. Same here. Same here. I would really hate for it to come to an end as well. Like we said last time, I think they should keep it going and have the characters in college. Since they're
Hmm.
graduating, and Carlton is not going to Princeton. He is going to an HBCU. He is going to Morehouse, and Will is going to an Ivy League UPenn. Episode starts off with them being surprised with the bedding in the rooms, and it's nice. I loved it. It's a beautiful Kodak moment. What did you think about that, sir? And them getting admitted into the colleges that they were meant to be in.
Man, I really enjoyed the spin they put on that. I thought for a minute they was going to have them together in college in California, but I really do like that they spun it in a way where they portray Will just as smart as Carlton. And we're used to Will not being that smart. We're used to him being the homeboy. We're used to him being the athlete. And I like how they display that you can be all those things. You're not
Yeah.
just put into one bucket. And not only did he get into UPenn, he got into one of the most prestigious business schools there is, the Wharton School of Business. That's UPenn. And I would love for them to do a spinoff, as you mentioned, with them two in college and the girlfriends, and with Carlton being in an HBCU. That could be our own version of a different world if the network would decide to keep it going.
I agree, man. I like that. I like that because they are having a new spinoff with a different world. And I hopefully I don't lose my black card. That's just a show that I did not watch as a young lad. I probably seen no more than 3 episodes total. And those
Oh,
weren't even 4 episodes. You would just have to combine all the clips together that I've seen over the years, and it will probably reach 3 episodes worth. And so yeah, I just gotta be honest and keep it real over here. But I am really interested in the spinoff. So we'll see. Let us know if y'all want the show to keep going. Maybe we can get something started over here. But towards the end of that engagement that they was having, the Kodak moment, we was like, hey, where's Jeffrey? He's part of the family. It seems like he should be here. What is going on? And we not Will, but Vivian and Uncle Phil. Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil didn't know what to say. They was he's busy. We don't know. He had to babysit. He had to go to work. He had to do this. He had to go. It was obvious as hell, man. It was obvious as hell. What did you think about that? Were you nervous at the time, thinking that the relationship was just completely fractured and there was no coming back, or did you have faith that he was gonna pop up somewhere somehow?
complete faith he was going to pop up. And I think that what they did in that segment, they portrayed what family and adults usually do to young kids to try to quote unquote protect them from some of the bad spots people hit in life. It's catch 22. Sometimes you should expose your kids to what life really throws at people. There's times you shouldn't. But at the end of the day, like you said, they over there skinning and grinning like they done ate a Cheshire cat. Them kids knew good and damn well something was afoot. But I knew Jeffrey was going to come back. He was MI6 has been too vital to
Yeah,
this story for something bad to happen to him.
yeah. Lamont, did you have your second child at the house?
No,
No, I
hell
don't
no.
know. I don't know why I'm thinking that right now. Is that something you say? Hell no. So that's something that you are opposed to. You wouldn't ever do that.
I, when it comes to childbirth, I will always want the woman to take the lead, but I'm going to always be the attack dog to make sure that the hospital or whoever treats her properly, because the mortality rate on Black women giving birth is the highest. And if you don't watch it, they will mistreat them. But, me and my wife both have medical background, so we knew better. But when we gave birth to both children, I brought candles, scented candles. I made it very, very chill. Dimmed the lights. I had soft ocean music, and I wanted my wife, if she wanted to have the numbing medicine so that it wouldn't cause her pain, I was all for it. So for me, it's more about the woman's comfort and me protecting the woman by making sure they give them the proper medical care.
Yeah, yeah. I remember baby L, your first daughter, your first child, you posted a lot. I appreciate it. And so I do remember that. But you wouldn't be too, even if you had the original Aunt Viv to come through as the midwife, the experts with all the oils and the holistic practices and the all the stuff positive energy she has, would that make you feel more comfortable? I would, because I like her. She's phenomenal. I loved her popping up in the show. I'm like, yes, the original Aunt Viv, because that she had a fallout with Will Smith in the original show. And when they did the reunion a couple of years ago, that was brought to light, that was brought to the forefront. And it looks like they have buried the hatchet because, like I said, we have the original Aunt Viv in the show as the midwife, trying to give the new Banks family, some comfort. What did you think about her inclusion in this episode and all that she had to offer? Because I loved it. I thought it was very, very nice and soothing, sir.
Bruh, I was in here doing monkey double backflips. I enjoyed her coming more than I enjoyed Tyra coming
Mm,
because I grew up with this show. Two of my favorite musical artists, Boys to Men being one of them, I got introduced to in this show. My favorite Aunt Viv was the one that we seen in this one. I think her name is Hubert. Her last name
yeah,
is
yeah,
Hubert, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
And to see her with the new Aunt Viv, I wish they would have brought the other Aunt from the show too, so that all three of them could have been in the same scene. But
Yeah.
I'm very glad they brought Miss Janet in to help with the delivery, to bring the kind of energy she brought. She is a fantastic artist. She used to do dance, she could sing. This woman had a career, okay? And I am glad that things got worked out so that she could get a little bit of shine on this show, considering what happened with her and Will. So this was one of the highlights of all the seasons for me, seeing her come back and help the new Aunt Vivian.
Yeah, man. It was quite nice. I liked it. I'm very, very glad that they were able to work something out and give her some type of shine and flowers and all that. So shout out to the whole production. I love it. Yeah, and she is very, very talented. So very
Mhm.
beautiful. Dark chocolate sister. I
Yes,
love it.
sir.
I love it. I love it. But while she is able to bring some peace to the Banks family, she can't do it all, man, because problems are rising. Bill had this master plan to where he was put in a corner, being blackmailed, family being threatened. And he was like, you know what? I have a way out. I'm just gonna be honest and do this and record that. But it's not enough. Okay. This cop is telling him, look, I need some information. Where is Jeffrey? I need the confession. I need the tapes. I need the records. If you don't get this to me by this amount of time, you're going down to Philip Banks. And he pulls off a lean on me in the 1980s and flipping tables. Throwing stuff. Vivian coming in. Is everything okay? No. He's on my back. I don't know what to do. Um, I was nervous, Lamont. I was like, are they gonna throw Jeffrey under the bus? Did Jeffrey turn to the dark side? Is he Darth Vader? What was going through your head, man? What was going through your head?
Bro, it didn't phase me because I knew they weren't going to throw Jeffrey under the bus.
Mm,
For me, it was just a matter of how they was going to get there, and I like the way that they set this up because the tension felt real. It really felt like Philip was going down the dark side. So when they gave us that spin, I was like, okay, these writers are very good. And with that, and knowing how they feel about Jeffrey and how the audience feel about my man MI6, I knew they was going to do it in a way where he was going to be good. I just didn't know how. So I never felt like he was in danger once I seen the way the writers crafted the story of Phil and Jeffrey laundering that money.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, gotta stay focused. You got to stay focused, Lamont. Would you agree? You got to stay focused.
You gotta stay focused best you
Mm,
can.
mm,
Life throws enough monkey wrenches at you anyway. You
yeah.
just got to come through with the jackhammer and get through the barriers.
Yes, there was more monkey wrenches thrown at our main characters as well when they're trying to get black sis, like black success, whatever the hell it's called, back up and running. You know, they're out there. It's Carlton, it's Will. I forgot the other guy's name, the hater. They're friends now. It start with a C? It's not Charlie or Chuck. It's slipping my mind right now. He was a hoe ass dude earlier. If it comes to me, I'll try to say his name. But
Mhm.
they got the monkey wrenches thrown at them, man. And one of those monkey wrenches is Big Tata Tidra. She's coming through with the biggest breast in land, having them all perked up, trying to show them in Will's face, like, "Hey, baby cakes, how you doing over here? Guess what? We're going to the same college. I can't wait to see you. Are you coming through tonight to the senior lock-in and look at my tatas? Because they're gonna be waiting on you." Wait, what would you have done in that situation, Lamont? Would you have shut it down right now? Like, no, you see my woman over there in the back? That's Lisa, okay? I'm coming to the senior sleep in, lock in, but I'm gonna be kicking it with her, okay? So don't be trying to put them tatas in my face, teacher. All right, or would you have just kind of played it cool, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you later. You know, what would you have done if you was Will?
Depending upon how much I'm into the woman and the nature of our relationship would depend on what I was doing. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm Will. Will should have shut that shit down because that chick was as thirsty as a penguin in ice. That chick was thirsty as hell, man. And you ain't like. I mean, did she wear a push-up bra, my brother? Because them things were sitting higher than her forehead. I was like, damn.
It
I
was
felt
silly.
bad, like,
It was
bruh,
a-
like this chick got to be very young. I
yeah,
shouldn't be looking at her like this. I'm sure she's older than what they're
right,
portraying
right,
her,
of course, of
but the
course.
way she presented herself, I mean, beautiful sister. I mean, shout out to the cast, period.
Right,
Y'all
right.
done such a good job of blending the rainbow coalition that is black people. Y'all done a great job. And that one right there, she was been a classic case of, girl, shut up and
Yeah.
just let me see you. That's it. But yeah, if I'm Will with the relationship he has with Lisa, you got to shut her down. But
Yeah.
if I'm not Will and you got one that talk like that, that's that thirsty, you got to give her a drink.
Yeah. Did they have any you funny. Did they have any type of senior lock-in at your school or anything like was that at the school? They had that at the school. Like this is supposed to be
Yeah,
at the house. You know what I'm saying? I think I saw a counselor walking through there. I'm like, you dumbass, don't don't you know what they doing in these rooms? You
it
haven't
was
been to
two
school for
counselors. It was,
like,
bruh, it was counselors, it was teachers. And I'm like, look, man, y'all know what is going on now. I'm sure. I mean, you be they could be blind as a bat. You know, good and damn well you can smell rubber and what it
you know
smelled
what
like to
I'm saying?
have sex. Like,
Oh,
bruh, come
yeah,
on, man. Come
yeah,
on, man.
yeah,
Like, no, I didn't have a lock-in, but this school was private. So maybe private schools do things like this. The only lock-ins I ever had at my school was us folks that got there early enough so we could go into the gym behind the bleachers and fondle people.
yeah.
That was willing fondlers, ladies and gentlemen, not
Really fun.
fondle, we forced it,
Of course,
willing fondlers
of
that would
course.
meet us there before breakfast and we would lock ourselves in the gym. That's the only lock-in we had at public schools.
Okay. You said before breakfast. I thought it was Friday nights, at the football game under the bleachers. We all have our stories. Everybody has those stories. When I first saw this, I looked at it, I rolled my eyes like, oh Lord. But I'm like, wait a minute. You was in high school too, doing the same. Everybody was trying to hug, kiss, booty rub, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. It's fun. It's I don't know if fun is the word to use, but just it's interesting. Like I said, we all have our stories, but man, these kids still don't give a damn. I mean, it is obvious that certain people are in relationships and they don't care. The boy, the girl is mine. Okay, they should have started playing the Monica song in here. Will and Lisa are clearly together, but Big Tata Tidra. She don't care. She's like, my crush is Will. I want to meet you in Smash Island. And same thing for the other gentleman as well. I forgot his name too. I'm so sorry, y'all. It started with a K. Cameron, or I can't remember. But Lisa tried to let him know, like, hey, ain't gonna be no smash tonight. Okay, we can go chit chat. You know, you the community DICK. I don't want none of it. And they didn't win. They didn't win the contest. You know, Amara and Carlton did. I know I'm kind of jumping around. Also, what was up with the host, Lamont? She was rude as I didn't vote for this, but the king and queen is Amara and Carlton. Oh my God, she was rude as hell. She was rude as hell. But Smashing Island, man. Lisa, she gave up she gave him a kiss, man, after he talked about her at a swimming pool when they was 12 years old. That she looked like a freaking mermaid. I mean, my goodness gracious. Yes, she's in high school, but man, it only takes 10 minutes of game to get them to open up to you, you know. Lisa, how do you feel about her, man? She's a cheater. You know, she's a harlot. No, I'm joking. But no, how you feel though? How you feel?
First, that host, that was the girl Carlton was dating earlier in the season, so that's why she was
Really?
salty. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
and
slow.
that was and
Okay.
that was so funny to me, like the way she was shading them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought they was gonna have a mirror like pimp slapper or something like that, but a mirror handled it just right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to Lisa, you absolutely right. The kind of relationship that her and Will have built up over the last 4 years. Remember, she saved him from drowning, if you can recall when he first got there. So
Mhm.
that was like a touching moment. And you mean to tell me that a friend from middle school that you really didn't get along with in high school can take you in a locked room for 10 minutes, get your panties moist enough that you want to kiss him? Nah, dog. Like that to come back from that, you literally need counseling right now. And most people would say, well, they're in high school. Counseling can be done at any age, period. I don't care. Like you can have adolescence counseling. But what was going through her mind to decide that she's just going to give him a kiss when you know that this is a test? And
Right.
secondly, I don't even think that people should be putting themselves in a position to be tested, because I can tell you right now, for all my faithful people in the Bible, the devil's going to test you plenty of times without you putting yourself into a test. So
Yes.
why put yourself in an environment to do something like that, to set yourself up to fail? And she failed badly.
She felt horribly. I like the setup as well, you know, because they wasn't ready. I like their dynamic because they seem like a very confident, powerful couple, but the communication is just not there. Neither one of them wanted to say yes to go to the contest, especially Will. But you know, there was a bit of peer pressure, and that doesn't seem like something that would affect Will, but it apparently did here. So interesting, very entertaining. I don't know why Lisa was so cold and an asshole. I mean, I have commentary on Will as well. We'll get to that. But he was like, "Hey, Lisa, how are we supposed to survive college if we can't even survive one night?" Well, maybe we're not. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I should just chunk the deuce and turn around and walk away from you. I'm like, damn. I mean, what did he do to deserve all that? I know he was lying, but she didn't know that. Well, yeah, me and Tata Tidra kissed too and did a little bit more. You know, does she get any credit because she was very honest and truthful as soon as she came out? Like, me and Cameron kissed, or me and whatever his name kissed. Does that count for anything or no?
Well, it should, but most of the time, doing the right thing doesn't count for anything. I mean, you're supposed to do the right thing. And in telling the truth, you have to suffer the consequences of the way somebody else feel. If it wasn't like that, people would just keep right on lying. That's the basis of why people lie. And she gets credit for telling the truth, which is the redeeming quality. That's the part that once you get through the anger and the emotions of what she did, knowing that she came clean and told you the truth is the part that can anchor you to getting back into that relationship, knowing that she did do that. But I didn't like the way the writers set this all up. It was just too melodramatic for me.
Mhm.
both of them was acting it was just too much drama on both parts. Will lying that he kissed the girl, he really didn't. Her actually kissing the dude, telling the truth. I just felt like that was more melodrama that we could have used for something else.
I feel you. I was about to ask you that about Will lying, and so I'm glad that you addressed that. And yes, it can be an eye roller, but they're in high school, and so I think even though it is corny, it is realistic. And I'm not judging nobody. We've all been there, and they had those times too when you're a freshman, sophomore, or junior, and you're not driving yet, and you get mad at your parents for picking you up too early, and they're like, "Damn, I just needed 5 more minutes."
Hmm.
So I can
Or
definitely
you
relate to all this. You know what I'm saying?
or
Go ahead.
you come from the hood like I do, and your mama just fuck it put on a moo and then come out with rollers in her head trying to take you into school.
Uh,
Like, mom,
That
come
happens
on,
too.
man.
That happens too.
Golly.
That happens too. That happens too. But we was talking about Lisa, man, her daddy, man, the cop. He's teaming up with Phil, trying to put a wire on him. And Phil doesn't have any confidence in the world. He's like, man, where is my boy Jeffrey? Jeffrey finally shows up in the clutch. You asking for a death sentence? Put the wire on me. And yeah, like you said, Lamont, he came back around. He made the decision. It seems like their relationship is not completely over with. So that's good. I did enjoy that. Actually, I was going to bring up a point with Aunt Via, but I want to save that till later when she's actually going through labor. Another highlight I liked, Lamont, is the daughter, the mother on Vivian and Hillary and Ashley, and their bonding in this episode. Her water broke as they was dancing, but also they was having a conversation about their first loves. Talking about how Hillary always came back running, talking about her boyfriends, and Ashley talking about her first kiss with Eli. I'm sure, yes, that's the conversation that the mother and daughter could have, but I don't know if I'm gonna be ever ready for that right there. You can tell me if I'm tripping or not. My head would have fell off. Your first kiss. What the hell? Ooh, you shaking your head, man. How you feeling, sir? How you feeling?
I'm rolling my eyes because my daughter's already running around here, five
You
years
said
old, talking about I'm gonna marry him. Huh?
yeah,
You marrying Pinocchio? Who you marrying? You
right.
marrying the Grinch on TV, right? No, no, I'm rolling my eyes already. Her thinking that that's something to say. Now she doesn't know better, but when you get back to Ashley, is a ninth grader.
Mhm.
They teach sex education usually in fifth grade.
Okay, yeah.
Between fifth grade and ninth grade, that little transitional window, I'm sure so many of us human beings had our first kind of encounter with our hormones, our feelings, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I think that even as fathers to daughters, you've got to set the right precedent so that your daughter can be honest with you, so that maybe you can save her from chaotic situations. You might not want to hear it, and you do give her the real deal consequence of what she says, but you've got to say it in a way that can keep her coming back. And that's how I would have to handle that if I was Phil and Ashley told me she's kissing Talib Kweli or whatever old boy name he is.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's tough. And I'm not even remotely there yet. Some stuff you're gonna be able to talk about, some stuff you can be like, go talk to your mama about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just real quick, would you have turned down Tata Tidra? Would you have obliged her?
Oh no, I would turn her down. I
All
would turn her
right.
down.
Good man, good man, good man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all let us know in the comment section what y'all would have done. Amara and Carlton, man, they thinking they soulmates. They running out and about to go get married. What the hell is wrong with them? My goodness gracious. I mean, oh gosh, just a roller coaster of stupid decisions. I mean, they made some dumb decisions, beating up G wagons. He's lying, stealing stories. He washes all the does the not the boot camp, but the program with Snoop. and you know, Princeton gets his head on straight, gets into Morehouse. All right, we on a straight and narrow, and he finna go marry this woman in 5 minutes. Oh gosh, Lamont. I'm glad the way things turned out, but I wanted to jump through the screen like Carlton. What are you doing? Stop it. What was you thinking?
Now, I actually thought that that was realistic, them trying to do a shotgun wedding, because it mirrors their personality. Both of them kind of are compulsive. They both have done drugs, they both had to go to rehab. It mimics what is kind of the core of who they are. Did I think that it was going to happen? No. And this was a callback to an Easter egg that happened in the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will and Carlton both was about to go jump the broom in Vegas. So it was kind of like an Easter egg for that. But at no point in time did I feel like that wedding was going to go through. I thought it was interesting that they showed how their personalities match, how there's a compulsive piece based on what their history, and also based on the fact that they're young kids too. So you add all that, and it comes to a calamity of these kids showing up at the justice of the peace to try to get married.
Yeah. I'm opposite of you, man. I thought it was gonna go down, and I thought they was gonna leave us on some cliffhanger. And I'm like, oh, we gotta have a season 5. Carlton making this dumbass decision, and Uncle Phil going off on him. Like, oh, I would have loved it. That would have been
Now, B, I got to be honest with you. The
Mhm.
reason why I never believed it was going to happen is because I knew we wasn't going to get another season. Now,
Mm.
if the possibility to get another season was there, then yes, I would have. It would have convinced me possibly that it would have. But the fact that I knew that we wasn't getting enough, I knew they wasn't going to leave us with that baggage with one episode left.
I got you. Um, I was nervous, man. And y'all let us know what y'all think about that too. But I was nervous when Hillary, not yeah, no, what am I trying to say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. When Dominique was talking to Jeffrey in the bar,
Mm.
I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen here? We saw the cop put a wire, Lisa's dad put a wire on him, and it was kind of out of character for him to just, you know, be so adamant and just, you know, trying to expedite the conversation. Like, yes, let's talk about this. So he ain't never done that before, so, you know, so he broke character. So it makes sense to why she was able to peep game. But I was nervous, man. I was, you know, the hairs were standing up on my arm because I didn't know what was going to happen. Did you think? Did you? How did you feel? Did you think he was going to get out of that easy peasy, or how did you feel?
I never thought he was going to get in any trouble because he's MI6.
Mm,
I knew. So first of all, I was thinking that we seen them put the wire on him. I was thinking, do you remember the original wire that they was wearing that was like a lapel clip? I thought that maybe he had done switched it out and put that in. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm sitting there like, okay, you undressing this man when really the wire is in his pocket. And but I knew that once they got him undressed, it wasn't going to be nothing. And technically, you know, you don't have to just have a wire on your chest. Anybody remember New Jack City and Chris Rock's character where he had the wire on his belt in there juggling the titties, as Chris Rock would say in that film?
mm.
She didn't take his pants off. She just took his shirt off. And I just knew BA. No time did I think he was going to get in trouble. Like I said, I just never really bought into they was going to let anything bad happen to MI6.
I got you. Okay. I'm not mad at you for feeling that way. I was nervous though. I did not know what to think. I thought that maybe he could have been a goner, but you know, I'm glad that he made it out of there. I'm also glad that Uncle Phil and Jazz were able to work things out as well. I did not want to see. I didn't have enough energy to see Jazz going off on Uncle Phil, like, Uncle Phil, how could you? I trusted you. I looked at you like a hero, like my own father, and you're gonna make my business go into the ground. And you're like a beacon of hope for all black people, and you do this. Oh my God, there's no hope. I just didn't want to see that. And so I'm just glad that they was able to cut to him and be like, look, you know, this is what happened. I had to keep you into the dark, you know, plausible deniability. I really wasn't, I was money laundering, but I wasn't. I was only doing it because I was trying to save my family, but we had all the records and I, you know. So they kind of, I don't want to even say they rushed through it. They just wrote it in a good way to resolve the fairly quickly, and I'm 100% with that. How do you agree or disagree?
100% agree. I can remember me and you had this discussion, audience, and I think you been following our reviews. Me and B Avery had the discussion. B Avery felt like they was giving resolve too quickly, and when he
Right.
said that, I said I think that they are quick with it, but they're doing it in a very, very tight, bottled up, good scripted way. And here we are, B Avery saying that he's liking the way they did it too. And so I like the way they did it. But usually, be Avery, and you review just as much as I have, probably more. When you see that they're bottling up and they're making things quick, that is usually always a telltale that this is going to be like a final season, or that the new season could be in jeopardy. Like they don't know if they're going to get another season. And I feel like the writers did a great job of keeping things going throughout the episodes, but also closing things up quickly enough so they can move on to the next thing.
Right on. I love it, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Lamont, this episode was also very emotional and touching for me, and I can't even relate in a way. I can sympathize, but I can't empathize. And that's with my relationship with my mother, which is great, thank God. She's still here. I can still call her, hug her if need be. But that's not the case for everybody. Some people's mothers have passed away. Some people don't even have a relationship with their mom. Like Jackie in this, in this season, this series. Her mom is around, but not around her. So when Aunt Viv was emotional, towards the beginning of this episode and during birth, of how she can't do this. She doesn't have her mother. She misses her mother. Her mother was there for every child, but now that's different. I felt really bad and sorry for her, man. And I did not cry, but I got sad. And my mom is still alive. I was just sitting there watching this episode, like, damn, like, what would life be like if I just lost my mother? I mean, we all know that the time comes, everybody's gonna lose their mother eventually, but no one is ever ready for it, you know. And it just she asked the question, is that weird for me to be feeling this way and saying this as an adult? And I don't think it is, man, but for me, man, that was just really heartfelt and touching, man. It made me kind of just sit back and appreciate that my mom is still here, because she's not going to be here forever. And I don't know, that just it really, it brought me down, but in a good way, because it just shows how great the writing is in the show. How did she feel about that part of the episode with Viv and her talking about her mom?
Immaculate writing. The people that did this did such a good job on pulling the heartstrings of the different things that they know almost every human being on the planet can relate to. We all can relate to, even if it's not your mother, any relationship with a family member who's been there to kind of guide you through the big moments in life. The person who's kind of like my mother figure was my grandmother, died 2 years ago while I was in the midst of making some of the
Right.
worst choices of my life. And then she kicks the bucket. I'm deep in these bad choices, and then I'm making more bad choices because that influence is not there. So the way the writers wrote this, and I also like how they had the old Aunt Viv step in to not satisfy filling a void, but be someone who can help with the void, to be that mother figure to help deliver that baby. Just if you didn't feel that moment, you got a problem.
Yeah, man. Perfectly said. I was gonna come up to that next, to double down on all the emotion and drama. On Viv coming, the original on Viv coming, the midwife, coming through, just saying, "Hey, man, I don't know what's going on, but you need to bring some peace in this room. Something heavy on your heart. It's affecting you. It's affecting your wife. You don't want to have that energy bringing a new baby into the world. Y'all need to fix that. Forcing them to confront their things. And mind you, I don't like saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like in this show, Aunt Phil and Uncle Viv are model blacks. If you're a black person and you are not aspiring to reach their level in some way, I think you're lying to yourself just a little bit. Just a little bit. I could be wrong, but that's just me. Let me know in the comment section. And for them just to seem so organized and how they got their stuff together, but them dealing with all this emotional, all of this emotion and turmoil right now, Bill stressed out, flipping tables, without everything he has to deal with when he gets the phone call that the baby is coming. He's like, "Oh, where's the list? Where's the list?" I know it's normal for everybody to get nervous during that time, but it just kind of just shows how human they are, and I like it. It makes even though they're multimillionaires, billionaires, they're still relatable, in that
Mhm.
sense from these little moments right here with their family. But to add on to that, we got to add some more fire sticks to the fire. Jazz pops up with the basket, with the bag, and he coming through in the clutch. Hey Hillary, Hillary had to open the door. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't have been Ashley or anybody else. It had to be her to open the door. You know what I'm saying? I like how that worked out, man. How did you feel about Jazz? Because he was sprinkled out throughout this episode as well, and him coming through at the end too. How did you feel?
Oh, I enjoyed every minute of it, man. Like Jazz need to start his own Uber service, delivering everything. He delivered Will, he
Yeah,
delivered that baby bag in the clutch, and
the
he's probably
ring.
going to deliver. Yeah, he delivered the ring, and he's probably going to deliver Hillary before the season is over with. We'll see.
Hey, hey,
We'll see. I enjoyed it, man, and I'm rooting for them to put them together. Like I've
yeah.
been on that bandwagon the whole season, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to pull this off before this season is over with. But I love the way they sprinkled Jazz into the mix because he's been there from episode one, first season.
Yeah, yeah, he has. But as Vivian is giving birth, she's having a moment to herself and starts daydreaming and sees her mother and comforts her and consoles her, and the baby comes out healthy, but not a baby Nicholas. It is a baby Nicolette. It is a lady. It is a girl. It is a princess. I would have preferred them kept it as a boy. I'm not gonna be flipping tables or anything. I'm glad the baby was born and healthy. Again, I would have preferred to stay a boy, but whatever. How did you feel about the change in the sex?
You asked me this question maybe 2, 3 reviews ago, and I said I wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm a boy. I'm a girl dad. I wanted a girl, and I just got to be honest with y'all. Now that I have a son, it hasn't changed how much I love my daughter, but there's just something different about the love and the way me and that son bond, the way we look at each other. Um, and I just think that no matter which child you have, which sex you have, there is going to be some love and a level of care and bonding that happens whether it's a boy or a girl. And I kind of felt like they was going to twist it to be a girl anyway because I told you Nikki can be a boy or a girl name. And that's
Mhm.
what we got. We got baby Nikki, Nicolette, the
There
girl.
there we go. There we go. And so we got a new member of the family, Miss Nicolette, and an old member coming back because as they're comforting each other in the bed, Jeffrey comes through the door. Hey, come on in. Look at the new baby. And they're a big happy family. And that's the episode, man, right there. That is the episode. That is the episode, episode 7, titled Soulmates. What are your final thoughts if you haven't given them already, sir?
I just want to know what are they going to do in the finale? I mean, there's not too many more things they need to sew up. I mean, honestly, giving birth to that baby, you could have ended the season right there. But I'm sure there are some more things they need to put in the bow, and I'm just anxious to see what they do.
Agreed, sir. Agreed. So we will be here same time, same place. Actually, don't have an exact same time, but we'll get a recap for our episode 8. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our Bel-Air season 4, episode 7, titled Soulmates. Again, we will be back for episode 8, titled The Next Act. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Lamont's channel. And if you're watching this on Lamont's channel, please subscribe to my channel. All the links to all that beautiful stuff is in the description box below. But guys, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, that's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.